All right, so we got to talk about this new website that CJ on 32's recently launched. So this is the website that's going to replace Raffle Creator, because as you guys know, CJ used to use the Raffle Creator platform to raffle off all the cars, right? Now with Raffle Creator, it was kind of misleading. It was kind of like all over the place. What I like about this website, obviously it looks a lot better. There's a variety of options to enter into this giveaway, whether it's just buying straight tickets or buying merch or whatever. So there's like different packages to buying different ticket amounts, or you can buy clothing, right? So you got here t-shirts for like $40, t-shirts for like $25, hoodies, right? But once we scroll all the way to the bottom, right, it's got the official rules and everything is laid out. It's pretty straightforward, pretty transparent. But that's also when you start kind of questioning the whole giveaway, right? Am I really winning a Corvette? Once we get to the taxes piece, because like I said, Raffle Creator, it wasn't like the information wasn't like properly laid out. It was kind of like either you know or you don't know, right? Sometimes they posted like all the disclaimers. Other times they didn't post any disclaimers. So you didn't know exactly what you're getting yourself into. You just knew that I'm buying X amount of tickets and I'm going to win this car or that car, depending on which place you fall into. First place, second place, or third place. You're just going to win this car. And then on video, you see them getting titles, right? But you don't really see the whole back end operation, right? You don't know what happens once you win the car. But with this website, it gives you kind of an idea of what happens after you win. And this is when, like I said, you start questioning whether did I actually win a Corvette? Because after you determine how much taxes you're going to pay, it's crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. But that also depends on the tax bracket you fall into, right? So like I said, you can see everything pretty much laid out here. You got the general conditions, disclaimer, how to enter. Everything is pretty much laid out. Now, this should have been done, like I said, on Raffle Creator, but it wasn't done. So like I said, it was kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like all over the place on Raffle Creator. Now, maybe this was going on behind the scenes. Who knows? Maybe that's when people actually won the car. They showed up and they had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork. But again, on video, we didn't really see that. We just saw CJ handing out a bunch of titles, right? So you got these three prizes, right? This is very important, guys. So these cars are all valued at $60,000, approximately $60,000. So the total prize pool here is $180,000. You guys got to remember this part right here, $180,000 or $60,000 for each car. Because once we get to the additional price conditions here, all right, so right here in bold, right, you're going to want to read this part. It says, the affidavit sent to each potential winner will require that the winner provide their social security number to the administrator, which will be used solely for tax reporting purposes. So they're going to report this winning to the taxes, right, to the IRS. Winners will be responsible for all local, state, and federal taxes. Local, state, and federal taxes. So this part right here, man, once you do the calculation, you're really going to be like wondering, did I actually win a Corvette? Because it depends on the tax bracket you fall into, but you're going to pay a lot of money. All right, a lot of money. Now, I don't know if this is what was going on, behind the scenes when they were on Raffle Creator. Maybe that's exactly what was going on. They were reporting all this information. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. But with this website, like I said, what I like about it is pretty laid out. So this is the IRS, right? So if you make $48,000, because most people, I think the nationwide average is like $50,000 or something like that. So if you're at $48,475, then you fall into the 22% tax bracket, right? Or $96,000 for a married couple filing jointly, right? But the next tax bracket over that is 24% for incomes over 103,000. So if you are at 48,000 right now, remember that car is valued at 60,000. So that's going to be reported. So now your income takes you to the next tax bracket, 24%. All right. So that's $14,400. This is for federal taxes. This is not, we're not done yet, boy. We're not done. This is just federal taxes. Right there, $14,400. That's just federal taxes. So that 60,000 is already down to like 45,000. Now, California, right? I don't know the state income taxes for every single state, but I know California is at like 8%. It might be a little higher depending on the tax bracket. So right there, at just 8%, we're talking about $4,800. That's another $5,000. So we're at like almost $19,000. $19,000. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to start questioning whether did I actually win a Corvette? Because unless you just got like 20,000, we haven't even factored in local taxes. All right. Because you still got, again, it depends on where you live, right? There's city taxes, there's county taxes. But that again depends on where you live. There's property taxes, but just state and federal, you're at like $19,000. $19,000. So unless you got $19,000 sitting around, you're gonna have to. I mean, you can sell the car, but I mean, it just doesn't feel like I actually won $60,000. So this is California's tax bracket, right, for single filers. So if you make $55,000 to $70,000, you're at 8%. But remember, that's $60,000 added on top of the $48,000, so you'll be at a much higher tax bracket. So 8% is actually lower than where the tax bracket will be once you add this type of car to your income. And then you got city taxes, right? This is crazy. I just saw this website. This is updated October 1st, 2021. So this might actually be a lot higher, right? So you got 17 states and the District of Columbia allow cities, counties to levy their own separate individual income taxes in addition to state income tax. This is in addition to state taxes. This is crazy. So you're not really, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like you're really not winning a Corvette at this point, because you're going to have to come up with at least $20,000. At least $20,000. And like I said, I calculated this based on the average, right? Because I think the average nationwide, if I'm not mistaken, most people average around like $50,000. But if you make more than that, if you already make $100,000 right now, and you add another 60, you're going to be in a whole other tax bracket, which is going to be even more crazy. So like I said, unless you got like $20,000 laying around, most people don't have $20,000 laying around. And then also there could be some sales tax, right? It's just going to be tax after tax after tax. It's just going to make you feel like, did I actually win a freaking Corvette at this point? New York, I know New York is crazy. New York is definitely crazy. New York City income tax ranges from 3% to 3.8%. That I know. I know New York City's taxes are crazy. So imagine you have your federal, which is the biggest chunk, then you got your state, then your city, and sometimes you might even have a county property tax. So, I mean, I guess you're winning like maybe like $20,000 from the starting price of $60,000 at this point. Because even if like some people try to sell the car, it's not like you're gonna get $60,000 for it, right? And they have reported already. So if you actually go sell that car, right, This is why I made sure you guys remember that $60,000 valuation, right? They're going to report they gave you a car valued at $60,000. If you go sell the car because you're so desperate to get the cash, right? And the dealer you go to rips you off and gives you like $45,000, you still got to pay on $60,000. So your taxes are going to be based on the valuation of $60,000. Now, let's hope people are not that stupid and actually sell the car to a dealer, to somebody for a lot less than that. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get that amount. You might get a lot less than that, but you're going to pay more in terms of taxes. So at the end of the day, it really feels like you're only going to walk away with maybe just an estimate here. Like I said, I mean, everybody's going to have a different calculation depending on your tax bracket and where you live and all that. But it's probably going to be like somewhere around like 25,000, give or take, something like that. Some people might be more, some people might be less. Just depends on how much you're already making right now. But I just feel like that's kind of what I liked about this website, because you get to see kind of like behind the scenes. Because on Raffle Creator, either they didn't really go through all this stuff, all this politics, and they just gave you the title, and then you just reported the car as a gift and didn't have to pay taxes or whatever. Or maybe they did collect that information and just they didn't record it on video. So that could have been the other possibility to it. But no one really knew because it wasn't outlined on Raffle Creator. There was no like general conditions. There was no disclaimers. There was nothing, right? They were just saying, hey, this is so-and-so's car. They're raffling off this car, the year, mileage, whatever, some of the vehicle information. And you can buy X amount of tickets. And then they had all the different specials, right? And there was like a brief little disclaimer, whatever, like you can't return tickets or you're going to be disqualified, whatever. But this website has it all pretty much laid out. So when I actually read through it, I was like, man, I'm not really winning a Corvette now. This doesn't sound like me winning a Corvette. And the numbers are actually going to get worse if the car is worth more. So if you win a car that's $100,000, that's going to be even more crazy, right? Because you're going to be on even higher tax bracket. Then you're going to have to pay almost double the taxes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like, I guess something people don't really, this is probably going to catch a lot of people off guard, right? Because most people are just buying, merch or whatever. And they think, hey, I'm going to win this Corvette. And it's going to be the end of the story, right? And I don't think people are really prepared for this part. The taxes. So I just had to mention that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.